Bam. Good evening. It is Monday night, August 1st, 2022. How are you? How are you? Let's just get into it tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Schenk, and I am the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a very small real estate brokerage. It's me and Jan, my other agent, and we run Deerwood Realty. So what do? Well, I help buyers buy homes and sellers sell theirs. I also have this live stream. It's been fascinating to watch it not grow and not do well. But here we are. I usually like to stream around 9 a.m, but I haven't done that in quite some time. So I don't know. But yeah. So I've got a stream and that's what I do. Wanted to get right into stuff tonight because it's been on my mind for a while, and it's probably dumb on my part, to be honest with you. It's probably a bad idea to call out YouTube when I have literally 71 subscribers. Lost a subscriber last night. I don't exactly know what I did because I wasn't even on YouTube, so I don't even know. I mean, I get that. And, I'm a small channel. It's easy. Like if I say the wrong things tonight, I probably get thrown right off the old YouTube for good. So that's probably a bad thing, probably not a smart thing to say anything. But, the whole Rekieta thing, the whole deal, it makes you wonder. And I just thought we should go over it because, I've been watching his show and his live streams. He was probably the main motivation why I started live streaming in the first place, because I liked his format. I liked what he was doing. And now I don't watch it every night. I don't know who can watch streaming all the time. I just don't. I don't get it. But I feel like I'm pretty up to date with everything he does. And so this has been eye-opening, I would say. So let's kind of start from a spot, and that would be if you watch Rekieta on YouTube, all of a sudden you notice he isn't anywhere. And this happened a while back too. I can't remember what the trial was, but there was a trial, and then he got suspended from YouTube for something, but he was able to stream on his alternate channel, Rekieta. I think it's Rekieta Media on the second channel on YouTube. I don't know. I guess he's not allowed to do that this time. And then, so after that suspension, he got into another row with Law and Crime Network. Made it through there. It seems like that's calmed down, and now we've got this suspension for 7 days. Who is Nick Rekieta, though? I guess that would be something to tell all of my 30 people that watch my live stream. And well, he's a legal commentator. Yeah, there's this whole thing on the internet now where you can have people commenting on trials, and he speaks on many more things than that. But he is not the founder of LawTube, according to him. So we're going to go with that. But there's been so many people recently that have been successful with that format that he's either been on their show or brought them on before they were blowing up, or just who he's regularly with. And they talk about the law. They talk about trials. And it's, to me, fairly innocuous. But I think what happens is there are trials that, how do I put it? There are trials that become a part of the public conscience, and then people get hardened in their views as to what the crime is, and then people are being they're watching these trials. Now these are normally state trials because federal trials aren't filmed, and anyway, it gets to be bizarre. Like the Johnny Depp trial, I wasn't that interested into it. But the amount of clicks that it garnered on YouTube and on the internet and in general, it became a cultural phenomenon. My wife, who doesn't watch YouTube at all instantly subscribed to Rekieta Law. And so that was the Johnny Depp. There was the Rittenhouse case. That was fascinating. I got stuck in that one, and I watched many hours of coverage because the way the media portrayed the Rittenhouse case versus what the trial was, it was just eye-opening, and not in a good way. But anyway, Rekieta's figured out that if you can capitalize on these trials, you can get a lot of eyeballs, and that helps. But I don't want to misspeak or anything, but I remember seeing a tweet of his that said that he's like the second highest earning chat on YouTube for 2021. And if so, if YouTube takes 30% of every super chat, okay, and I mean he made that company so much money, and to see them treat him the way they're treating him is mind-blowing from my perspective. Mind-blowing. Now we'll just go over this latest snafu, and I'll just talk about it a little bit, and then we'll go on to our real estate stuff. But I mean, when you're like, let's say I'm a creator, okay. Now, I mean, I understand I don't get paid for anything. I'm not even monetized. I do this kind of for fun, but it does take effort. Like I have to spend a little while preparing for the show. I have to do the show, then I have to cut the show, do the edits, things of that nature, promote the show. It's a lot of work. And that guy, Rekieta, I mean, it's not uncommon for him to have a 4-hour or longer live stream. And I mean, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And to have a multi-billion-dollar company come in and just say, we're done with you, or, you're suspended, and then it's a nebulous suspension. It doesn't speak well to the power of YouTube. It doesn't speak well to that. Now, think about it. I didn't know who this man was until I started watching him on YouTube. YouTube brought this man to me. And then just as soon as they bring him to me, they're suspending him, taking him away. Like, what kind of business is that? What kind of business model is that? I don't understand it. So let me get to it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to just go to his Twitter, because this is another thing that's bizarre. When you're suspended, you can't even put out any community notes or community tabs. So he's basically only got Twitter, and Twitter isn't exactly the bastion of free speech. So I mean, this is dicey in a number of different ways. But anyway, around July 22nd, based on this tweet, he writes, so Team YouTube has given me a violent or graphic content guideline strike on my interview with Fuddbusters. Now, I don't know. I didn't watch that one. He says, I'm appealing this absolutely bogus strike, but since they don't bother to give you a timestamp, I have to come through 5-hour stream to figure out what to say, which is wrong. If you do have a live stream, like I'm going to have one tonight, probably going to go for an hour, maybe not as long. I don't know. But to comb through every word I say could take me an hour minimum. And if I have to write down timestamps, a little bit longer. So if he's got a 5-hour, that's 5 hours he's got to spend figuring this out. And if he does it on twice the speed, he doesn't even know which part got him in trouble. And then he writes the same day, says, hey, Team YouTube, nothing about this video violates your guidelines. And if you would go ahead and tell us the reason, I'm just going to say that you can read that, hopefully, so we could tell you why you are stupid. It would help sign the people who make you money. And that's right. What kind of business model would you have? I mean, how would you stay in business if you brought people to your platform and then immediately kicked them off once they got successful? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And yet here we are. So, when I'm a fan, okay. I mean, again, I don't watch every single live stream he does. Sometimes the topics aren't something that interests me, but if nothing else is on, I'll watch that. It's good stuff. It is not having done this now for almost more than a year and having the views that I have, it is not easy to build an audience. It is not easy to talk for hours on end about anything. I mean, it takes skill, and to be able to captivate people to watch your streams and to be a part of it is impressive. Now, he has a way, Rekieta, of, it's not my style. Some of the things he says are, you're not going to hear me say them. I just wouldn't. But I've often felt that for you to be, popular on YouTube, to be popular in general, like in my own business as a real estate agent, if I wear, if people know me for the car I drive, if it's a snazzy car, people know me for a slogan, if people know me for wearing purple and white suits or something, that's marketing. That's how I get my point across. None of those things are things that appeal to me. To get an audience, you might have to talk about things that are controversial. And, so he does that, and that automatically puts him at risk of, losing the chance to earn income on YouTube. So will I ever go down that path? I've gotten kind of in a weird spot where just me talking about this and saying some of the words I did in the algorithm probably going to get me nowhere on this video. Probably. But what are you going to do, right? If you think something is really wrong, you should question it. At least, I mean, that's where I'm at. So anyway, then he replies to a comment that says, "Oh, but they're your partners. You should probably just take it up with them at the next partners meeting." Now, my understanding, I don't know how YouTube works all that much, but Rekieta does so well that he has like a partner meeting with YouTube. Like he actually has the ability to talk to somebody at YouTube, which I don't, obviously, because I'm so small. And he's used that in the past to help others that have been wrongly suspended, things of that nature. One time, Uncivil Law was hacked, and he reached out and tried to help, and and so he wrote, "I've already emailed my partner manager, and they will literally take this up with and will literally take this up with them at my next meeting. You dolt." It's true. It's like, like you think he didn't think about that? So that was July 22nd. Okay. Comes on again. Status of tonight's live stream is up in the air. My appeal is still pending. So he has no way, like he does have an audience on different places. He's on Locals. He's on Twitter, but he has no way to go to the community tab in YouTube and just type out like, "Hey, I'm suspended." He's got no way to communicate. And it's so bizarre because, like, just in my own mind, okay, like, they've taken away your ability to communicate on the platform that you use. If someone just watches him on YouTube, they have no idea what happened to him. They may not use Twitter. They may not use Locals. They might literally be like, where did this guy go? I mean, it's strange because you just stay on the same platform. It's not obvious to you to go to YouTube. It's not obvious to go to Twitter from YouTube to find out what happened to someone that you watch all the time. So, I mean, it's strange. And then so the 23rd, appeal update on strike still pending. So he appealed it. Okay. And now we wait. And so then, he talked about some other things. We get to the 25th, and Elijah Schaefer says, "Hey, free Rekieta Law." Now, look, you have to stand up for situations like this, in my opinion. If you like a creator and you stay quiet, they'll just disappear you. I mean, you've got to be able to, voice like something that you're not content with. Now, there's things that, there's things in YouTube that we just know we're not allowed to talk about, like medical information and things of these nature. So I mean, I get that, but this here is the right way to do it. My problem is on Twitter's, I don't use it very well. So I tried to retweet it, and I tried to, retweet Team YouTube, but I mean, I don't think they care. I think I have oh God, on my Twitter. How many do I don't even know. It's not that many, maybe 40 followers. So it's not helping. So it says going for, and then this is the 25th, going for a Florida stream tonight, learn about my bullshit suspension on YouTube and hear me bitch about everything to everyone. So then he's doing it on locals because, I mean, he's a streamer. That's what he does. So he moves platforms. Like YouTube knows that they're the number one player in the game. Okay. But I mean, if you're a creator, you've got to be thinking to yourself after watching so many people get thrown off the platform, you've always got to be thinking like, hey, I need alternative media out there I need to utilize that up front or else I'll be taken out at some point in time. And so what have I done? Well, I was on Odyssey for a while and I would go back. But I got nobody watching over there. Nobody. I hooked up. Rumble has been evolving over time. When I first looked into Rumble, I didn't even understand it. It didn't make any sense. And then they've sort of changed over time. And so now I've been able, like, the one thing that's big for Rumble for me is I could sync my videos. I couldn't sync my videos on Odyssey because I don't have enough followers, so they won't auto sync it. So on Rumble, they're doing that for me, which I really appreciate. And so that's been helpful. But I got my first comment on Rumble today, and it was just like weird gobbledygook from somebody. It didn't make any sense, and I don't exactly think a lot of people know I'm on Rumble. I have locals, but now all of a sudden we're just to do one stream, I've got to be on 4 different platforms. I mean, that takes time that I don't really have because I am doing the real estate business during the day and night and whenever somebody wants to see a house. So that's tough. Okay. So let's continue. And it says, on July 26th, he says, the life of a social media businessman. Be one of the top streamers in the world. Guy with 8 followers across 6 platforms. Bro, this is why you aren't succeeding. Let me tell you how to do it. And this is true. Even where I'm at right now with 71 subscribers, I've watched video after video after video after video of how do you get more subscribers? How do you create a better stream? How do you do this? How do you do that? And some of those people I've watched don't even have, that many subscribers. So that's dumb. That's dumb. And then they have these channel audits. Some of these other, like they'll watch your stream and they'll say, well, this is what you could do better. But I've noticed that if you don't just get out there and do something, like you'll never do it. I mean, if I wanted to make the perfect live stream, I mean, it would take me months to put one out. And I just don't think that's going to work. So anyway, that's what I saw there. And then this is the 26th, still suspended from YouTube. So I have to post this here if you're in Tampa, hang out. So that's the 26th. The 26th, he also talks about this pastor who was robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry while preaching. Now, why he has $1 million of jewelry, it seems a little bit weird, but whatever. I'm not going to get into Kamala Harris. So then we go up here, and on the 27th, he's back on locals because he can't be on YouTube. Now, I've been kind of busy, to be fair. I have not gone over to locals to watch Rekieta because even though I have the app on my television, I don't really understand locals and some of the stuff they do for like free versus paid. Like, I don't know if I can watch a live stream live, but I could watch the replay like the next day. I don't know. Anyway, it's just not easy. And I haven't been awake enough to watch. So whatever. So now let's get going here. The 29th, still suspended by Team YouTube for a bogus strike because they don't read their own policy. Thanks, guys. By the way, super cool of you not to allow me to tell my community that your incompetence is why I'm not streaming. So, now we're on the 29th. The 25th is when I think it was when he found out that he was in trouble or he was suspended. Who struck Rekieta? like what algorithm or what happened that got him suspended? And then why is it okay that you can't even go to your community tab and say that you're not streaming? I mean, like, it's weird. You're like, YouTube is all about building a community of followers, and then they make it impossible for you to talk to that community once you've made it. It's like, it's a very weird thing. The whole, I mean, understand on YouTube, it's really weird anyway. Like, in some ways right now, I have literally one person watching this stream. This stream could never be seen by anybody again, or YouTube could promote it and it could be seen by hundreds of thousands of people. That's a very strange thing. It's a very strange thing what I've seen with like, people assume that YouTube is fair. And as I've been on the platform long enough to watch and to understand that there's nothing really fair about YouTube. Like, for instance, if you've got a Twitch streamer that has a bunch of followers, they could sign a contract to come over to YouTube right away. And then when they did, somehow, is it their followers that made them show up all over the place on YouTube? Or was it YouTube tweaking the algorithm to benefit those people that have moved, that they're paying to be on their platform? It's very weird. It's very weird. Similarly, like right now on YouTube, the pushes for shorts, from what I read and what I see, I do shorts quite often. I used to do my podcast, but it's kind of morphed into the live stream, which I now put out as a podcast afterwards. But so now I'm streaming and I'm doing shorts, but then I don't really have much video content then. Now I have uploaded a bunch of old live streams as videos because I'm dropping my live stream exclusive channel, or at least I'm not dropping. I'm just not going to put anything more on it because figuring this stuff out is wild. I have one video on YouTube that consistently gets views. And it's been that way for like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months. And I have other videos that have never gotten any traction. So it's just, you say, well, the quality of one video is better than the other. Your thumbnail was better on one. Your title was better on one. I don't think any of that. It's just kind of a weird place to be. So this Rekieta has gotten to where he needs to go. Like, he's made it. He does a live stream at night, and he has people putting in super chats. He's able to bring on guests. I mean, at 71 subscribers, nobody's coming on my show. No one's coming on my stream. I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna talk about stuff, which will be fine, but I mean, it's not like anybody's gonna get paid for it. So why does anybody? And what exposure am I giving someone? Like, seriously, like 71 followers. I think I get like an average of like 6 viewers. So I mean, it's really a mess. So anyway, let's continue. It says, July 31st, he writes, "Hey, Team YouTube, I'm starting day 9 of my 7-day suspension." And he gives them a suggestion of what they can do. And that's where I get even more confused, because now they say, like, if you've ever had a copyright strike, if you've ever had something happen to on YouTube, it's a weird feeling. I had one of my videos flagged one time, and I didn't know why. I didn't think I'd done anything wrong. And it was like, I appealed it because I thought it was wrong. I don't know why it got flagged, and I won the appeal. But just getting in trouble by someone, like, I'm 45 years old. I very seldom ever get in trouble. Like, my parents don't come at me at 45 years old and say, like, you didn't wash the sink or something. But when Team YouTube comes at you, it has the same feeling. It's like, mommy and daddy are angry at me. And for this, he doesn't even know what it's about. The last time he was suspended, I remember it now, and it was because something in his live chat, or something in the chat, was written that was offensive. And so then and it didn't even get found until after like the chat replays were going up. Like the live stream hadn't originally been banned. And so, then I think he turned off live chat replay. I don't know if he still has it on, because on my TV, I don't see the chat. Even though he tries to put it in the corner, I can't read all that stuff. It goes too fast for me. So anyway, we keep going. Then Nerdrotic comes in, who's got a massive following. He says, hey, Team YouTube, can you answer this question for us? Does 9 come after 7? Like seriously, if it's a 7-day strike, why is it a strike? What was exactly the reason, and why is he not being reinstated? And can you imagine? I mean, this guy spent 4 and 5 hours a night. Maybe 300 nights a year. I mean, he's got a lot of time in this. And I realize he makes a couple dollars, but the time that he puts into it to just be treated like this, it's not right. It's not right. And then this was 5 hours ago. It says, why is Team YouTube not letting Rekieta Law back on the platform? It's been 10 days locked out from a 7-day strike. That's just it. I mean, why did you decide to do this? So that's all that we've got to. That's, basically where it lasts to. It just feels like it feels like it fails on the if the shoe were on the other foot test. Okay, say you owned a platform, okay, and someone said something bad, okay. First off, would you tell them what they said? You'd think that'd be okay, right? You'd think that'd be the thing to do. You should be able to notify someone like what they did wrong. You can't just have it be nebulous. Like that's why I always get uncomfortable with the community guidelines strike. Have you read the community guidelines? They're gobbledygook. I have no idea what it means. I'm not even a lawyer. He's a lawyer. I'm pretty sure he can read. His reading comprehension is way better than mine. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what's in there. And I'm pretty sure the people that are suspending him here are not lawyers, and probably, I don't want to say anything inflammatory, but what I would say is that they're probably not the most blessed folks in the world. So now we've got if I'm running this, okay, and now I've suspended someone, but I've told them what they've done wrong, at least the specific instance. I think that would go a long way into, not freaking creators out. Like right now, I don't even know if I'm going to get banned for what I said, and I've tried to be pretty fair about it. But I mean, there's certain buzzwords that I think probably get picked up on. I don't know if Rekieta made it onto the buzzwords, but if he did, I'm toast, because I've said his name like 4 or 5 times. Some of the trials we went over, I don't know if those people are, if their name's in the algorithm that says, if somebody says this, we're just going to go ahead and downrank it. So anyway, so again, let's say that I've now suspended someone, but I've told them what I've suspended before, and I've said, hey, you can either do this to make amends or not, and you get, this is your punishment, okay? Well, then what happens when I go over the punishment? Like myself as the person in charge, it doesn't give me a lot of cred. You can't tell somebody, you're off suspension and then you're not. And so now we transition a little bit to what I've seen in my own lifetime. I don't know if it's true, but it's just what I've seen. And that is, when I was a kid, I know it's weird when you talk about when you're a kid, but when I was a kid, okay, there was this concept of customer service. Okay. You would get a response. If like one time, Unilever, massive corporation, I got a thing of deodorant in the mail. No, I got a thing of deodorant at the store, and I went to use it, and the whole deodorant fell on the floor, and I was like, the hell? So I called them. I actually got a person, and I said, hey, my deodorant didn't work out. They said, oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. What's your address? We'll take care of it. And so sure enough, They sent me manufacturer coupons for like five rolls of, or five, I don't know what they're called, of deodorant tube. I don't know. But anyway, that's the way it was. With the technological revolution, it became, we're going to do these things like, and there's not going to be anybody on the back end to help at all. For two reasons. One, if we tried to do it with humans, it would be way too expensive and it would hurt our growth. And two, it's just, we don't need it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. Your growth, like on a digital platform like Facebook or YouTube, I mean, it's not because of customer service, right? And so we just kind of allow it. And then we have the companies like Amazon where, I mean, to be honest, I guess I don't feel like I'm like the best Amazon buyer in the world. I've had an account since way back, but if I've ever had a trouble with Amazon, like I literally just type in the system and they usually replace it or return it or give me my money back. And they never really give me any guff at all. I mean, it's quite perfect on their customer service. Now, maybe you haven't had the same situation. Maybe the same thing hasn't happened to you, but I can't complain about it. It hasn't been that bad. And so, and then like, look, what I've noticed, at least, like I'll get these comments on my videos that are just weird. Like if those people have problems, the people that write the comments, it's like they're kind of messed up anyway. Maybe large corporations shouldn't be spending their time dealing with these people that are writing these weird things. I'm just saying. So anyway, well, what do we make of this? We've seen people deplatformed. We've seen it like coordinated. Alex Jones, for instance, I mean, within 2 days, he was off of every single digital platform. We know that there's a backend in Twitter that communicates with the other large, social media things, or at least we've seen what's supposed to be there. But it just seems strange. It's like, why? What did Rekieta do? Like, if you made normally if you make a company a lot of money, they want to keep you around and they want to treat you pretty well because you're earning them money. And I don't understand in the business of YouTube. I mean, they're more than happy to just boot you for your political beliefs. They're happy to boot you for any number of things, even if you're making a ton of money for them. So, I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Obviously, we're not going to have a huge chat because I have no one watching. But if you put it in the comment section, I mean, you could say like, I've been working on this for a while in my head, and you could say, well, Rekieta is a bum. Rekieta says bad things. Rekieta is a horrible person. He doesn't deserve to have a platform. Then don't watch. It seems like that's happening to me in an odd sense. Like people may not like what I'm saying, so people don't watch. Maybe I'm boring. Maybe I don't have the face for YouTube. I've definitely noticed some streamers have an advantage in the way they look over me, and that's fine. I get it. It happens in real estate as well. But as a creator myself, you just have to question how you will be able to stay on a platform that's increasingly, banning people, throwing them off the platform, treating them with a significant amount of disrespect. I mean, if this is how you treat great channels, if this is how you treat great creators, what do you think that they're going to do to you when you got like less than 100 subscribers? It's not a good situation. It's not good. It's not good at all. And I'm going to use my platform of 3 people and my cousin on my stream to speak out about it. YouTube needs to really, really examine what they're doing and If they want to proceed down this path, that's fine. But I don't see it working out. I mean, I remember MySpace. I remember, I don't remember it because Napster. Do you remember Napster? Napster's gone. Or it's back, but in a weird way. I remember the internet, and I remember the promise of having a place that was free. And it was. And then what happened was people somehow were like, we can't find the things we're looking for. And so like, we can't just type in the URL. Like I remember when I was younger, you could just type in the URL to where you want to go. So like if you want to go to CBS Sports, you could type that. If you want to go to ESPN, back then, ESPN was a great channel. It was not owned by Disney, and it was not the mess that it is now. You could just type in like espn.go.com and you could just go there. You didn't need search. But then all of a sudden, and then back when I started the internet, or when I was in the internet, search didn't work. So even like they had Lycos and a couple other ones. So you type in and you don't get the results that you need. We've gone so far from that to literally banning search results or manipulating search results to benefit political groups, nations. I mean, all of this would be unheard of a long time ago. But the other thing that happened with maybe Facebook, I would say, and to a lesser degree, Twitter, is the internet became like, instead of going out and seeing all these individual sites, you saw all those sites on one platform. So all of a sudden on Facebook, like you could just stay on Facebook and see everything. You didn't have to go out on the internet at all. You could just stay on Facebook. Same thing with YouTube. I mean, who's really out there? Searching for videos that aren't on YouTube at this point? I mean, it's just the largest platform. And what that's caused, that eroded the independence of the internet. To me, the idea that you could just be all in one place and it was all captured, really, really ruined the spirit of the internet being free. And so now we suffer with this. Now we suffer with this. This is what we deal with. So anyway, hopefully I've explained my point. My point is simply what YouTube's doing in this situation. If the shoe were on the other foot, they'd be thrown off their own platform. I'm just saying it doesn't seem right. When somebody makes you money, you need to go ahead and look and say, okay, well, this person made me money. Let's get this figured out. There was no need for this. This was over the top. And so it's frustrating. I hope they bring Rekieta back quickly. And then I hope that they stop kind of looking over his shoulder. I mean, it's a very weird thing, the world we're living in right now. But I think I'm going to move on from that. I hope I wanted to give everyone respect. I wanted to, talk about the way I thought about it, and hopefully you know where I stand. All right, so here we go. Let's move on. One of the things that's happening that's kind of confusing me in the real estate market is the market went crazy for mortgages at the same time the housing market was going crazy. You can see the ramp right here. I mean, things just started ramping up around March, and it got all the way to past 6%. So a 30-year fixed rate was over 6%, which is terrible. The Fed hiked the borrowing rate 75 basis points last month, 75 basis points this month, and yet the average on a 30-year fixed mortgage is going down. Why is that? What is this about? I'm not smart enough to know. I've said, look, at 5.5%, we can do that. People can still buy houses. They'll still be all right. But over 5.5%, I get a little uncomfortable. I don't know if it's just because I'm just kind of used to that number or what it is, but I was okay. When it got into the sixes, I was like, this is not going to go well. But in St. Louis so far, it's gone fine. You can still get, like, I've currently got one offer out for a buyer. We're way over asking. They had plenty of offers. We've got, I got a gnat. I don't understand why they always on the show. One of these days I'm going to eat it and it's going to be gross. Anyway, I keep seeing statistics that say the rest of the country is going under. It's not doing well in their housing. I don't know, but I did list a house last weekend and I had multiple offers. We're way over asking price on the accepted offer. Very few contingencies. So if this goes down, if the mortgages go down, will the market spike up again in the housing sector? God, I hope not. I've had one of the worst years ever. And I've had one of those. The reason why is because I've literally just been helping buyers. And the problem is when 30 people write an offer on a house and I get blown out by $75,000 to the next offer, I've just lost my whole weekend. I don't get paid until I close on a house. And so for much of the summer, which it's been pretty miserable here, it's been over 100 degrees. It is today. I'm in a spot where I don't make much money. If I have a listing, I make a lot of money, but I had a lot of buyers that I've counseled, and I think reasonably, look, if a lot of sellers that want to buy up or buy new homes, it's like, look, we need to make sure you actually acquire a home first before we try to sell your house, because we can't guarantee when you're going to get that house. And you might get stuck overpaying for a house that's just an absolute disaster for you. So anyway, I don't know. A very, very tough market for me. But I know people have done well, and I'm happy for everybody. I don't begrudge anyone that had a lot of listings. Good for them. So anyway, at 5.5%, like I said, I'd be okay with that. Where it's at now, I think it's great. But I just feel like this is the first time in my life where inflation has really, really shown itself. Like I've never seen before. I've never seen anything like this. Gas prices, grocery prices, housing. I did see it. I mean, in 2004 to 2007. I mean, we did see increases, kind of crazy increases in home prices. I haven't followed the stock market enough to know what's going on. So I don't want to comment on that, but I just feel like inflation is the real problem, and it's somehow being masked by the strong housing market. I can remember in 2008, 2009, people selling houses that they had purchased but had not lived in, and they were going to fix up and make all this money, and then the market turned and they weren't going to make all this money, so they just left them kind of vacant. Now, now we're told that there's a supply issue. We don't have enough homes for people to buy, and so that's why the mad dash to purchase homes. I don't know if I believe that, because I remember there were a lot of vacant homes. And what's changed? I mean, obviously the population's changed. It's probably gotten higher. But still, it's a very, very weird situation. And I counsel my buyers, look, if you're going to buy a house, please consider living there at least 5 years. Consider this as a home that you're going to really enjoy. If this is not the house, then don't buy it, because I do think that the market could go down at any moment. And then on the sell side, it's like, don't get greedy on your pricing. I think that's the key. I mean, come to market at a reasonable price, and I think you'll do fine. It's these, like, I was looking at houses in this neighborhood. We put an offer in on a house in a neighborhood, and they were asking $200,000. I think we came in at like $215,000. Okay. And we got beat out. I think it ended up going for like $220,000, $230,000. So there's another house that went on the market in the same neighborhood. They came to market at $250,000 the next week. Now, my buyer would have been more than happy to buy the house or put in an offer if they had priced it at $200,000, but at $250,000, I mean, this particular house was garbage. There's no way anybody's going to spend that for that house. So hopefully it sits. Hopefully that teaches everyone a message. So anyway, that's where I'm at on that. I've kind of got a mess going. I got people calling me. I need to take those calls, but I'm also 15 minutes from being done with what I think has been a pretty good live stream. So we'll continue. We will continue. I wanted to look at an article next. It's been going for a while. I pulled it off of Zero Hedge. I'm pretty sure it was just rewritten from somewhere else, but it says San Francisco couple gets $1,500 fine for parking in their own driveway. It says things really seem to be going uphill in San Francisco. A couple from the city who has parked in the same spot every day for the last 36 years was ticketed at $1,542 for parking in their own driveway this month. Now that should just tell you how ridiculous things have gotten. For all the advances we've made in our history, sometimes I think we've actually gotten dumber. This is one of those situations. It says, as many people do, the couple lives on a hill in a city where parking is always a premium. The couple has been parking in the carpet in front of their house, which they say has been there since the house was built in 1910. But now the city planning department is saying that it's illegal to park in the front yard of a house and threaten further tickets should the couple continue to park where they've been. It says we always use the carport parked in that driveway every day and every night. We got this email saying we can't park in the pad anymore. I said, what? That's crazy. His wife continued. I was very surprised and said, at least I wrote them back saying I thought this was a mistake. And that's just it. Now you've got an idiot at the city planning department, okay, that, thinks very highly of themselves, okay? And so they're not going to back down, even when it's pointed out that they're completely wrong. Then, they're not going to back down. They're not going to back down. And of course, when you're the city planner, you have all the benefits of government behind you. So, I mean, you can sue these people. You can do whatever you want to, and you got the government behind you. You've got their backing. Meanwhile, these people just get to pay and pay and pay until they can't do it anymore. So you're going to win. So anyway, it says, but the city planning department confirmed the ticket, and if we were found parking there again, it would be a $1,500 fine. And ask, why are you taking away something that has great utility to all of a sudden be told you can't use something that we could use for years? It's startling. It's inexplicable. Well, I don't know if he's noticed that San Francisco is not exactly the bastion of freedom that he thought it was when he moved there. The city planning committee then made the couple prove that parking there was historic use on the lot. So the couple started digging. We could be grandfathered in if we showed them a historical photo that showed a car or a horse-drawn buggy in the carport. And the couple came up with a photo in 1938, which shows a car buggy pulling into this driveway. But the planning department told them that the photo was too fuzzy and that couldn't be used as evidence. It says today their carpet sits empty and the couple is forced to park on the hill. The onus is on us to prove we're innocent, though I don't feel guilty. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why do people move out of California? Why do people move out of San Francisco? Because of things like this. Government overreach on a massive scale. As I go on through life, I see it more and more. Just constant invasion in your lives, constant attacks on your children. The state knows best all the time. It's bad. Anyway, like I said, my phone's blowing up, and I need to start taking those calls. Not going to be fun. But I'm going to head out. Thank you for watching. Love it if you comment. Love it if you subscribe. Hit the notification button because I can't seem to be on time with my streams. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. Sorry to cut it short, but I'm out. Thank you again, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.